Hello everyone and welcome back. One of the key pieces of information we want off most spreadsheets would be the variance year on year of various aspects of the business. And in this sheet, we're going to create a pivot table that will display sales by county. We're going to filter it by year, and then we're going to calculate the difference between the two consecutive years. We've already copied our base pivot into the sheet here. So now we'll just configure it for this particular pivot. So I'm going to put in cost county and remove category. I'm going to rename cost county to county. We also want year, so we're going to put year across the top. So here's the years. So that gives us the 21-22 with the figures for each year, and then the grand total which adds up the 2 years here. What we also want though is the difference between those years. We want a column that does that. So in order to do that, we're going to bring the total field into the values again. And we're going to rename these columns just for clarity. So the first one will be total for year. And the next one is variance. They're both showing the same thing at the moment, but that's no problem because we're now going to change the variance to show values slightly differently. We're going to say as a difference from. We're going to say years, and here it's the previous year. So we'll say OK. The variance for the first year will be 0 because there's no previous year to compare to. So we can hide that column, just to tidy up the pivot table a bit. And this column are really going to be duplicates of each other, so I think we can get rid of this one here as well. And that tidies it up very nicely. Now what we're going to do is format the variance column so that it highlights negative figures. I just right click any cell here, number format. We'll pick currency rather than accounting because we'll get these options here to highlight negative numbers with it, and it just makes it easy for us. We'll go to 0. We'll pick our Euro Irish currency, and we'll say red with no negative symbol, and we'll say OK. So that highlights then the variance for the year, so we can see that 15, the difference between 15 and 13, we're down 40,000 in Dublin between 22 and 21, but the total for the 2 years is 15 plus 13, which is 67,000. So overall, we're 198,000 worse off in 2022, but that's probably because 2022 is only halfway through at the moment. So this is a sort of slightly misleading figure because they're not 2 full years. The other thing we want to do then is to put in a timeline for this. Insert timeline, pick order date, OK. We'll position the timeline above the pivot table. We'll snap it out to the end and pick years. The nice thing about the timeline is that you can pick any 2 consecutive years here now, and those 2 years will be compared on the pivot table. So that's it. Nice and not too difficult. Have a bit of fun with that, and I'll talk to you next time. All the best and bye for now.